below 6 minutes. She came in unseeded at 5:52.20, a great personal best to set her up for the rest of the season. The rest of the season, there's maybe not as much of it as we're used to seeing, as of course, we're in late January now, so PSAL Cities is in less than a month. We've got states coming up just a couple weeks after that. Whole lot of things to consider if you're a New York State track and field fan. Trinity Capo, she'll have her sectionals meets coming up out of Section 9 from Minisink Valley and Slade Hill. And then Caitlin Fernandez from Danbury, she'll have her class meets coming up. Danbury, one of the largest schools in Connecticut, competes in Class Double L. Whole lot of things to look forward to for our high schoolers. And we're just happy that we get to help lay the groundwork.
Next, the freshman girls 400-meter dash.
All right, now it's time for a brand new event, one that we saw a couple times yesterday, and that's the 400-meter dash. We saw a couple of our young sprinters go in the 56s last night. How fast are our freshmen going to go? One thing that we've yet to really consider, but one that we probably should acknowledge, is that all of the winners for our events, as far as who sets the fastest times, they ultimately are the ones to set the meet records here at the inaugural New York International Showcase. How about the freshman girls 400? 2 laps around the track. We've got Samara Downer, Nyla Lovelace Crump, Nala Dournay, Harper Smythe, Lana Alvarez, Adaya Arango, and then Anna Camp, our rough start lists. Look at the youngster from Winslow Township in the white. That's Adaya Arango. Still a shorter built sprinter, but she's got great power, great turnover, and a great stride to compensate. Last 100 meters, she was at 41 through 300 for perspective. Are we going to get some freshmen below 60? Less than 50 to go. Anna Camp from Seton trying to challenge, but it is Adaya Arango in 57. Anna Camp, I'm being informed that it's her birthday, and she'll take second in 58.36. Look at those seat times, though. Arango down from 59.29 and Camp from 59.41. Personal bests and sub-60 clockings. Way to put it together, young ladies. DeQuana Howell from Spire Academy snuck into that heat and snuck into the number 3 spot just outside of 60 flat. Can we get anybody else across the line below a minute in heat number 2? Sadie Rosenzweig, Isabella Egan, Serenity Jackson, Colea Scott, Amari Rama, and Brielle Cardani all on schedule in section 2 of 7. This is Colony, this is Serenity Jackson, and she's experiencing nothing but the meaning of her first name out front, all alone on the lead. It's looking like Colony 1, 2, 3 right now, with Amari Rama and Brielle Cardani in second and third. Could they go 1, 2, 3, 4 in this heat? Less than 100 to go. Or Serenity Jackson. The Colony crowd just to the left of our broadcast area is cheering wildly for her. As she hits the home straightaway, it's Colony 1 with Jackson, and then 2 with Cardani, 3 with Rama, and 4 with Rosenzweig. Colony with the sweep. How about that for execution? Their assistant coach, Owen Sleesman, directly to my left. He's pleased with that. They call him Coach O for short. We got some more Colony in this third heat in lanes 1, 5, and 6. One of the top sprinting programs out of upstate New York. Coached by USATF Level 1 certified coach Lisa Paparone. If you ever go to a meet and you hear a move chant where Colony is running, just know that it's Pap. Colony, a team again with a great coaching staff and a whole lot of sprinters to go through their halls through the years. But so far, they're going to be put under some pressure here. Zanaya Caraway leading into the final 100 meters. Colony looking for another top 2 finish here. Now moving into second. This time it's Bay Ridge Prep's Addison Marshall. Caraway wins. Colony with 2 section wins in a row. Bay Ridge Prep second, and then third goes to Annalie Linares from Newburgh, the Goldback. 66.98 for Caraway, the official winning time from section number 3 of 7. A couple of runners were unsettled in the set position and have been called back upright to the stand-up, being given another chance to go in heat number 4. This time they're away. It's Serenity Coolidge, Esther Inyang, Ella Henderson, Marilyn Oppenheimer, Gerlinde Pasquier, and Isabella First.
In section number 4, Coolidge, Yang, Henderson, Oppenheimer, Square, and First.
Isabella First from Concord. The young lady raider from Wilmington, Delaware, to take the bell at 31. I don't think they're ringing bells in these 400s. Sometimes we'll hear it indoors, as whenever there's more than one lap around a track. You hear it outdoors in the 800, for example. You're going to hear either a bell or a whistle to signify the last lap. But let's just pretend that we heard one nonetheless. I can tell you, First is doing a great job of not just pretending, but bringing that vision to reality. She's been running eyeballs out, as they say, ever since she hit that halfway split. And she'll hold on for the Heat 4 victory in 68 seconds. Newburgh with another top 3 finish. That's Ella Henderson ahead of Esther Inyang of Cheltenham. And then the second Newburgh Goldback in 4th, Marilyn Oppenheimer. Heat 5 off and running. Adriana Flores Cruz, Elizabeth Blacksher, Zoe Butler, Lila Layton, Juliet McFadden, and Stella Gaito. The Newburgh crowd, they're right in front of us, and they're cheering on Stella Gaito with all their might. She's on the outside, nearly tripped over that cone, but re-stabilized herself to cut in front. 33 seconds at 200 meters. Let's see if she can break 70, but she's going to have a whole lot of Elizabeth Seaton to hold off in the final 200 meters. Elizabeth Seaton, the team known as the Road Runners from Maryland. And they're surging down the back straightaway. Gaito now in second place, still with a chance to rally for the lead and the win. But coming off the turn, it is Elizabeth Seaton in front. Elizabeth Blacksher, and then Adriana Flores Cruz of Academy Charter. It'll be the Maryland native to take the win. And the second place spot goes to Greenwich Country Days' Juliet McFadden. Section 6 of 7 freshman girls 400 on track. Lane number 3, that's London Carlock. In fact, that looks like Nia Mayret from Cheltenham. Carlock was the third listed entrant. She looks to be in second right now for Seton, with her teammate Niara Reed moving up alongside her. It's Elizabeth Seton now into the number 1 and 2 positions, with London Carlock leading the way into the final 100 meters. Niara Reed following her with hip number 6 there. Seton. Normally I'd say a 1-2, but because they're the road runners, that is a meep meep. Real ones, no. Wile E. Coyote had nothing on them, as they will escape to see another day with some great times, 75.98 and 78.43 for the Elizabeth Seton Roadrunners. 1-2 in the freshman girls heat 6. Who is going to win heat number 7? No chance of a back-to-back heat win, as Elizabeth Seton does not have any entries here. We got Plainfield, Ferris, and Truckee Hebrew Academy. All from New Jersey. Naraya Harley from Truckee Hebrew Academy from Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. She'll be the one to ultimately win this heat. It's been a minute since we've seen a sub 75. No official word on our clock. But we should be looking for something good. In fact, we might be close to sub 60 here. Wow, 59? Did that just happen out of the last heat? Though it will not result in an overall win. She definitely put the top two, Arango and Camp, on notice. Wasn't quite good enough to best their 57 and 58s, but looking at our production clock, she was very close to sub 60. And that should put her in third in the overall standings. Nicely done. Time for the boys in the freshman 400 to get on the track and run their 2 laps in their 6 sections, all on time. Man, these guys are really attacking this quarter mile, something that back when I was a young freshman, I couldn't muster up the bravery to do. But these guys clearly know what they're doing. They're in the right event. Adrian Woodward of Bergen Catholic. And we got a battle coming on that far side. He's been passed up. That is hip number 5, LaRon Anderson of Harry S. Truman. Can he get to the line? Oh, just at the last moment. That was Sebastian Ruth of Bishop Shanahan in 52.06 to win by 0.03 of a second, and his crowd loves it. He was on the ground for a minute, but got back up to high-five his competitors. What a great move, coming off of that final turn by LaRon Anderson, the Mustang from Truman, to make that race interesting. Just so happened to be the second move, Sebastian Ruth. That was the decisive one. Bishop Shanahan coming over from Downingtown, Pennsylvania. Nice of them to pay a visit with some of their finest young talents. We got another Bishop school in this that you may recognize by name, Bishop Laughlin. On the outside in this section is Katie and Romeo, but on his inside, Academy Charter's Joshua Buckley takes over the lead at 200 meters. Both in those varying shades of white and purple. Right now coming up from third, that's Lathan Scott. And also out from fourth, John Collier from Deptford. He goes 3 wide around the outside. What a slingshot to the line. And Deptford takes the win with a lunge for the tape. John Collier, 53.66. And Josh Buckley holds on for second in 53.68. Section 3 of the boys Frosh 400. Just a few to go after this. Still looking to beat a 52.06 by Bishop Shanahan's top runner from the first section, Sebastian Ruth. Let's see who can get after that. So far it's Bergen Catholic and Siler Briones. We're just beneath 26 at 200 meters. 26.19, the official confirmed split. He still leads that single file quintet up the back stretch. Siler Briones, but another move coming from fourth. That might as well be the golden position to be in with 100 meters to go. What a race once again. This time Academy Charter wants a little bit something more to say. And with the final say is Chris Zane Green from Long Island. 57.82 for the win. Zaire Renau from Danbury rallied for second, followed by his teammate Kavian Jones. And then our brave early leader, Siler Briones, in fourth. Even Eric Jiang from Roslyn, another Long Islander, broke beneath the 60-second barrier rather. We're going to see our sub-50 guys coming later, so hang tight if that's what you're here for. We're still in the freshman 400, and just to give you a sense as we welcome on our fourth section of this event, freshmen nationwide would be in elite status if they found themselves sub-50. How elite? Only one in the country, only one freshman, that being Gideon Newton of Hoover, Alabama, has broken 50. This is Brandon Tomlin from Pemberton Township. He takes us through that halfway split at around 27 and change. As he heads towards the final 100 meters, this is about the biggest cushion we've seen recently. It almost looks like one of our mile races, and we had so many runaway victors there. And that's what we've got here in the 400. A strong finish by Trevor Butler from Amityville, but Brandon Tomlin powers through the line. He ran through the line too. That's what you love to see. 27:51 halfway and finishing in 30:89 final time, 58:40. Butler beneath 60 as well at 59:23. Section 5 of 6. Boys freshman 400. Next event after this will be the girls varsity 400. Still just about 10 or so minutes behind schedule on the oval, so keep with us. We will likely find a point in which we come back to that. Our athletes having to adjust to the rolling schedule. Nice little hop step to the inside by Academy Charter's leader. That is Jonqua Victor. He's taking it out all on his own. Nobody willing to challenge. We got the Plainfield guys in second and third. Ahmad McIntyre and Jaquay Stewart. And then Jacob Gross of Bergen Catholic. Nobody in the picture but Jonqua Victor. Living up to his last name from Academy Charter. Right around a minute flat at the finish. And look at this finish by Jacob Gross, making up 2 spots in the final 100 meters. 60.05 for Jonqua Victor and 66.89, just showcasing the dominant margin of victory, but you always love to see a good sprint finish by Gross. He'll be clocking sub 60 before he knows it. It is so game-changing when you're a young freshman and high schooler to have the experience at premier invitationals like the New York International Showcase. And keep in mind that meet is brand new to the calendar, but just getting yourself in this environment. It was something that was preached to me at the high school level, not until I was a senior. But still, I come from a small high school in upstate New York that didn't even know this place existed before my time. Of course, when I was a senior, this facility was just over 3 years young. But point being, athletes need to be in this position if they want to ultimately get to their fullest potential. Can we get some more sub-60 400-meter runners in this latest section? Jaden Benson, a 114 seed. Can he do this? 74 to 58. Ha ha! 58-72. I got to have a word with whoever entered that seed time in for Jaden. That is incredible. And the way he paced that was stellar as well. Only around 3 or so seconds of differential between first and second lap. And his best running is yet to come. We've got a few upperclassmen in these sections of the girls 400. 15 in total for the varsity group. We're likely going to start running them in rapid fire format once we get a bit deeper into the field. You saw 2 or 3 girls break the 60-second seal in the freshman 400. And we got a couple of her teammates, our freshman champion that is, Adaya Arango. She's got her 2 teammates from Winslow Township in this, Jordan Cato and Leah Joseph leading up the backstretch. They head to 300 at around 42. Man, Arango's time may stand ahead of them. She was in the 57s. But nonetheless, the Eagles showing why they have one of the top 4x4 programs in the country. 3 girls sub 60. And none of them in the invitational section. 58.85, 59.11 for Joseph and Cato. Followed by Spire Academy's Kaylee McIntyre and Lucy Scalar of North Hunterdon. Heat 2 underway. Many of them starting in down positions. Some 400-meter runners, like let's say our mid-distance drop downs, they'll run from an upright position. Got to set that tone and get to that break. You see those cones? That's where they cut in. Trinity Dickens for Elizabeth Seaton at 27 seconds halfway through. followed by Melanie Walker from John Adams from the New York City PSAL. Into the back straightaway for the final time. All 6 girls are still in this race. This is going to be a riveting finish as we hit the final 100 at 43 seconds. It is Trinity Dickens, as it has been all race, but Melanie Walker of Adams will come up to challenge surely in the home straightaway. Does she have enough track to get close enough? Trinity Dickens holds on under heavy onslaught. Walker takes second, just 0.12 behind, and another 22 back to our third place finisher in section number 2, Kimora Sims from Hudson Catholic. Section 3, after a medium length hold in the set position, they all waited for the gun very nicely. We saw a couple of our top athletes get disqualified for false starts yesterday due to a bit of impatience, perhaps, when it comes to that gun anticipation. So far in heat number 3, that's Ryan Golden of Elizabeth Seton, the sophomore. A 62-64 seed. This entire field seated at 102 approximately. How much closer can we get to 60 in comparison? Another 43-second split through 300. We're on pace. Ryan Golden will win wire to wire. Now all eyes are on that clock. 58, 59, just outside 60 flat. But that is quicker than heat number 2 went, for sure. Ryan Golden with a great run, and a big round of applause for North Hunterdon's Liana Angeles, our final finisher in our third of 15 heats. Off in section 4 of the girls' varsity 400 meters. Another heat of 6. This has been great attendance thus far, as we've had a couple of heats in various races feature just 2 athletes. This time we're making use of all 6 lanes of the banked oval at Ocean Breeze. Just over a year after being fully resurfaced, the track is running faster than ever. Dakota Evans, she's running pretty fast for her liking. A 63-64 seed, just went through that 200 split in, wow, 27.92. Here comes Zoe Turpak of Minisink Valley. We've seen her split 56s before. In fact, I believe I'm referring to her teammate Kessler Hirsch. But nonetheless, she's been part of a state finalist 4x4, and Turpak, with the well-timed kick, will take it just outside of 60 flat. I want to call it in the lower 61s, and there it is, 61-26 for Zoe Turpak. Maxine Paul-Emile from St. Anne's in second. But if you're Zoe Turpak, again, that's got to be a real confidence booster, knowing that not only can you run well with your team in a relay, but as an individual. That's something that as a 400-meter runner I struggled with sometimes. Usually my better performances, if I had a 400 and a 4x4 on the day, would come in the relay. The individual event, the one with all the numbers posted on mile split, would suffer. But Turpak showing that she can get a win here. Ought to be mighty thrilled with that. Claire Devlin of Corning, our early leader in section number 5. Her closest pursuant is Brittany Labintis. That's Brittany Labintis in second from Plainfield, New Jersey, in that blue and red kit, chasing up the back stretch. Some moves being made in the mid-pack, but it's going to come down to these two in all likelihood. Claire Devlin, Brittany Labintis putting on a major surge. The Plainfield crowd loves this sprint. Devlin's not done, though. The Corning Hawks with the Hisham El Garouge response. I just had to make a reference to the 2004 Athens 1500-meter men's Olympic final, because that's exactly what the great Hicham El Garouge did to win his first Olympic gold in the 1500 meters. Bernard Lagat came up to challenge him off the final turn, had pulled in front for a moment, but El Garouge dug in just as Devlin did in heat number 5 of the 400. And hey, talking to Sanjay Ayer last night, the meet founder of the New York International Showcase, he ultimately wants to show, as an example, he wants athletes, as he says, to live vicariously through him, athletes that dream big, to want to get to the biggest stages in athletics, like the Olympic Games, where Sanjay went at just 19 years old. As an alumnus of Calabar and Excelsior High Schools in Jamaica, DeWitt Clinton here in NYC, and Auburn University down in Alabama. He's proved that it's possible, and that's what he ultimately wants athletes to see at events like this in the indoor season, to set them on the track for success. Let's look at section number 6 as they come around the final 100. We got a group of 3 looking to figure out who's the fastest on the occasion. This is Academy Charter going up against a great challenge from Juliana McAllister of Stroudsburg. She comes by to take the win in 63.12. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the high jump bar is now at 6'10", so we're going to watch the pole vault, but we've also got to keep our peripherals peeled for the high jump. We will signify just what to look out for there. I see Archbishop Carroll's top high jumper, as well as Colony, New York, Ryan Buskey up next. I mentioned him as a 7'2" jumper, but also to look out for is Archbishop Carroll's top high jumper as well. That's Vance Harris. Both he and Ryan Buskey cleared 6'7" on their first attempt, and Buskey, I believe, just got over 6'10". We'll keep watch on that. Christiana Killen of Hillside, battling it out with Victoria Chu of Springford. Killen in the bright kit, 64 for the win. A 3-way photo for third place. Victoria Chu will take second. Attempting the high jump now is, there was a nice triple jump there. Archbishop Carroll's Vance Harris won the VA Showcase, going to give it his second go at 6'10". Now getting ready for his second attempt at 6'10". Vance Harris from Archbishop Carroll. Heat 8 of the 400 is on the track. Early leader Elizabeth Seaton's Jasmine Jones. And Harris is over 6'10". Jasmine Jones still leading from Seaton, but just looking at our national rankings, again, Vance Harris. They're moving the bar up to 7 feet now. Harris at the VA Showcase took 4th in 6'6", and he's already cleared 6'10". So a great result indeed. For the junior, both of those two, Harris and Buskey, are juniors, and they're going to attempt their first 7-foot jump on the day. Buskey has hit it. Get a look at the high jump atmosphere on the infield, as well as the oval for our Heat 9 of the 400. Heading into the back stretch. Let's stick with our leaders as they go. That's Grace Rourke of Colony. She moves up. As does Renaya Jefferson from Imhotep. The Panther on the inside from Philly. And also Mia Davis from Newburgh on the outside. The long striding tall runner with the specs moves up onto the shoulder at the halfway point. It's a neck and neck battle as they head into the final backstretch. Now shifting in favor of the Goldback. Mia Davis to the final 100 meters. Here comes Rourke from Colony. It's going to be a battle of the crowds. They're in adjacent bleacher stands. Newburgh and Colony. The others making big time late charges as well. Mia Davis, Grace Rourke. Colony's going to take it. Rourke for the win. So far, they're being given a moment to collect themselves as they prepare to attempt 7 feet on the high jump. We're going to go on to section number 10 in the girls 400.
Varsity boys triple jump, please report. Varsity boys triple jump, please report.
This is another group with a lot of Colony blood and as well some Plainfield, Elizabeth Seton, and Minisink Valley programs that we've seen featured quite a lot thus far. And this is Emma Berkshire from Minisink, followed by Nala from Seton. Vance Harris is going for the high jump as they enter the final lap. His first attempt at 7 feet. The entire arena matching his clap rhythm as he prepares to attempt his first 7-foot high jump. The junior from Archbishop Carroll didn't have the height on that attempt. Vance Harris still with 2 attempts remaining at 7 feet with Ryan Buskey on deck. And off the turn, our new leader, Nala from Elizabeth Seton. Look at this time, 63 seconds. Ryan Buskey up next in the high jump. Our U.S. number 2 and New York State junior class record holder at 7 feet 2 indoors. Heat 11 about to go in the 400. We're going to watch out for that. He's not going to get the claps going for this attempt. He's going to try and lock into his own rhythm. Here he goes. Buskey. Over 7 foot on his first attempt. Showtime Ryan, the crowd pleaser. As we return to the 400, still with 2 attempts going for Vance Harris. He's going to get his Carroll crowd into it for his next 2 attempts. Evangeline Torres of Newburgh takes us through 200 meters, around 31 seconds in section number 11. Down the back straightaway. Torres, followed by Jana Bint-Perrin from Imhotep. And she goes by with less than 100 to go. It is Jana Bint-Perrin off of the turn. A little bit of a window on the inside, but she's got the cushion. In fact, this is Jerlivia Frederick from Minisink Valley. She's got the cushion, and she's got the win. A nice little Section 9 battle. 68.06 to 69.46. That was heat number 11. A nice move in the last 100. McFadden and Bint-Perrin from Imhotep take 3rd and 4th as heat number 12 gets set on the line. We will keep you updated on Vance Harris's next attempt at 7 feet. And we'll have to keep you updated as to what Ryan Buskey wants to do for his next attempt. And that is now his 4th meet on the season, clearing minimum 7 feet. He opened the Armory Trials back in October with a junior class record of 7 feet and a half, and then jumped 7 feet 2 at a local league meet on a basketball court at Union College in Schenectady. And even after that, cleared 7'1" in Boston, and here in New York, where he wants to win a state championship, he has cleared 7 feet again. So far, we got some more Elizabeth Seton out front. That looks to be Mackenzie Geckler. Vance Harris is ready to attempt 7 feet. We'll keep you updated on heat number 12 of the 400. No claps this time, it appears, for Harris. Again, this is a new height for him. Let's see if he has the height on attempt number 2. Taking a long assessment of that bar as Elizabeth Geckler comes through to the finish. Harris, no good on his second attempt. There's Geckler. .65.56 for Mackenzie Geckler from Elizabeth Seton. And then Deshiel Duverge from Hillside in second. Section 13 called to a stand-up. Vance Harris with 1 attempt left at 7 feet. Ryan Buskey has yet to miss. As we are off and running. Back on the oval for now. The 400 meters rolls on. Around that far turn. We've got 2 girls coming off of the merge. That's Snyder's Tanavia Richards in hit number 4, followed by Adaobi Obequelu from Elizabeth Seton in second. They've got 3 going at it now. Danielle Pierre of Academy Charter in the mix. To the finish, Adaobi Obequelu, just below 70. Just at 70.28 confirmed, FAT. Still sticking with our wide shot. Harris getting the claps going again for the high jump as heat number 14 goes. We're going to watch the high jump final attempt for Vance Harris. Seven feet. Third and final attempt. Vance Harris just missed it. But he comes away with a 4-inch season best. Will be mighty thrilled with his effort, leaving only Ryan Buskey to decide his next height as the winner of the New York International Showcase High Jump. He now improves to 6 and 6. That is 6 and 0, in fact, 6 of 6. He's batting 1,000 thus far at the high jump. And so far, leading into the final 100 meters from Elizabeth Seton. That's Megan Adamu. Down the final stretch. Your penultimate heat winner for the girls, 71. Buskey going to tie his personal best. If he can clear 7'2", that's his next attempted height. We're going to wait on him in a moment. He is being given a few moments in between, so we're going to focus on the final section of the girls' 400 meters when Buskey resumes on the runway for the high jump. We'll look back at him. Here we go, last section of the girls' 400. Don't forget, we've still got the Invitational 4 to come later. They're trying to make the most of their opportunities here. Look out for the Medgar Evers girls in lanes 1 and 2. Olivia Olivere and Brianna Kennedy are early leader in lane number 2 in the white front side. She comes into the home straightaway with a commanding advantage, and she is below 30 at the halfway point. In third place at Salma Samdawi from Minisink Valley. Samdawi in third.
7 feet 2 inches. This would be a facility record.
Rounding the final bend, Brianna Kennedy from Medgar Evers. To the line. Can she be caught? Here comes Samdawi. She'll take second, though. Kennedy takes first. Medgar Evers 1-3. And then Robin from Bronxi takes fourth. There's Ryan Buskey from Colony looking to set the all-time Ocean Breeze High School facility record in the high jump. It was initially set at 7 feet by Smithtown East's Daniel Claxton at the 2017 Ocean Breeze Invitational, which just so happens to be our next broadcast next weekend. But here at the first ever New York International Showcase, Ryan Buskey is ready to go. And it looks like we've got a 16th heat for the girls in the 400. So we're going to watch for that as well. Boys will be after this. They added a 16th section. We've got Kayla Pinnock, Delaka Olanayan, McKenna France, and Savannah Green on the track, but on the high jump, for his first attempt at 7 feet 2, Ryan Buskey. No good on attempt number 1. Still 2 attempts remaining. Halfway through in this final 400 heat, right around 30, so they're still pushing the pace.
Ryan Buskey will have 2 more attempts at 7 feet 2 inches.
.66 seconds, just underneath that for Delapa Olanayan.
2 more attempts left at 7 feet.
65.97.
Freshman 800, please report. Freshman 800, please report. Freshman boys and girls 800, please report.
Buskey getting the claps going in the high jump, attempt number 2. As the boys varsity 400 gets ready to go. The entire arena focused on the junior from Colony. Almost. 1 attempt remaining. Now on track for the 400 being called to their marks. Christos Batalius of Bronxi in 1. Mense Houndje from Sandy Spring Friends in 2. In lane 5, Luis Torres of Malvern. And in 6, Chris Carter Jr. from Columbia. Interesting to see Chris do an upright start. He recently set the 300-meter school record for the Blue Devils at 35.6. We'll see how he does with an additional 100 meters to run. This is mid-distance for him. But he's also a SUNY Cortland football commit, so he knows what it's like to gruel it out on a hard day of practice and on the gridiron. He's in second, though. Going to have to really grind it out if he wants to come back at Luis Torres of Malvern, who will have the lead of the final 100 meters. What a surge we have coming here from third around the final turn with hip number 1. That's Christos Batalius from Bronxi. Batalius with a huge comeback. Really went for it on that final lap and got all the way to the front, 50.49 to take heat 1. That'll be the time to beat in the remaining sections. Ryan Buskey calling the arena to attention for his third and final attempt of 7'2". It would be an Ocean Breeze facility record and tie his lifetime best. Buskey got it! A facility record at Ocean Breeze. Gives a high five to his cheap opposition, Vance Harris from Carroll. And his Colony crowd loves it. They're moving the bar up to 7'3" as we go through our first lap of 2 in this second heat of the 400. Coming through to the finish. This is Corey Greenfield of St. Peter's Prep. He's below 50. Unofficially, 49.92. What a run for Greenfield out of the second heat. That'll be the fastest time to beat moving forward. And Ryan Buskey looking to move that bar up for a new personal best. If he clears 7'3", it would be a personal best in U.S. number 1.
State record is 7 feet 4 inches. So just 1 inch below the New York State record. This would be for a U.S. number 1.
Getting a look at Ryan Buskey on the infield. He's getting ready for his first attempt at 7'3" as the third heat of the 400 goes up the back straightaway. In the final 100 meters, Desiree Hemmons from Plainfield off of the turn in front. Here comes Tegan France of Sill Northview. At the last moment, he'll take the win. Sylvania Northview out of Sylvania, Ohio. Coming over from the Buckeye State. Just outside of Toledo. He'll be your winner in section number 3 as the fourth heat gets underway. Fourth heat going. Ready to go. They sure better be ready to go. That's the unforgiving nature of the sport. whether or not you're ready. That gun is going to fire, and so far it is Gabe Decker of Norwich running the strongest on the inside. Buskey's got the claps going again. His first attempt at 7 feet 3. For the U.S. lead. He almost got it! On his first attempt with 2 remaining, Ryan Buskey giving the 7'3" barrier a major scare, and he looks like he's got plenty of juice left in him. Who's got the juice in the 400? At the line, Sean Paxton from Columbia. Paxton takes heat number 4, looked to be around a 52:53. We'll get that official time. Again, live results will have all your confirmed scores and times in archive format. Section 5 of the boys 400-meter varsity is underway. Having a look at our schedule again, we've got a total of 18 sections on schedule, expected to take us up to the 11:35 mark for the freshman 800. Looks like we could get there much quicker at this rate with how quick Joseph Mendy of Kinlan has taken it out. He's got about 10 meters of an advantage just over halfway through. 23:76 his halfway official split. And less than 100 to go, the field coming back to him. Are we going to see another sprint come back for the win? Bronx Sai. Nathan Zhu, not quite, or did he? He made a ferocious lean and got it by 1/100th. Nathan Zhu. Buskey's got the claps going again. This is attempt number 2, or 7'3". Ryan Buskey. 1 attempt left. He gives a signal to the crowd. He knows that he's got what it takes. He's proven that he can get over 7 feet 4 times on the season. And with all the noise happening, it looked like Daniel Chung of Manhasset. Come back! Bradley Harris, come back! Daniel Chung of Manhasset, with all the noise that was happening, he didn't hear the set command, and that's why they fired the double gun. And it's so loud in here that Bradley Harris of Hackettstown didn't hear the second gun. Either he did and just chose to keep running, or just plain didn't hear it. Again, that is the atmosphere that we've got going on in Ocean Breeze, and that's a good thing. That is what Sanjay Ayer envisioned for the New York International Showcase. Action-packed track and field. And we are so happy to have you here with us on Mile Split New York and FloTrack. Carson Gambaro. We've got the high jump. We got the boys 400. All of your favorite events happening in one place, one time. Section 6 of the boys 400 getting ready to go. And away second time. Chung, Hannon, Bermudez, and Harris. If you're Bradley Harris of Hackettstown, you got to hope that that initial strider didn't take too much out of you. His teammate so far doing a good job, Andrew Bermudez in 5. And then it's Danbury's Alexander Hannon. He moves into second, the Hatter, at the halfway point. And it's the young man from Manhasset, Daniel Chung, in 4th. There goes Danbury. There goes Hannon. He's into the lead down the backstretch to 300 meters, just beneath 38. We got a lot of atmosphere happening in the throwing cage as well. But the crowd is behind the man from Danbury. Chung will take 3rd here with a nice late rally. Alexander Hannon will take 1st in 52:52. That'll be a very memorable time for very obvious reasons. How do you forget a 52:52? As heat number 7 gets in its starting positions, we're going to pivot back to the infield for the high jump as they get underway. Ryan Buskey going for his third and final attempt. And a new lifetime best, 7 foot, 3 inches. His day is done on the high jump mat, but another successful campaign for the junior from Colony, getting a massive round of applause from the crowd, setting the Ocean Breeze facility record of 7 foot 2 and winning his 6th high jump competition of the season. I got the chance to talk to him before he started, and he said just having 2 weeks off in advance of this meet allowed him to get fresh. He was upset that he didn't clear 7 at his previous 2 competitions, but he's gotten over it here. Getting the win in heat number 7, that is Henry Rubin from Collegiate School. In fact, hip number 5, that was Nativity's Nolan Denorowitz, 52-56. Apologies for the mix-up. That was hip number 5, not 6. As we move on to heat number 8 of 16. Section 8 is going. Trying to unwind that 2-bend stagger. Nigel Bassnight of Academy Charter. Saber Bragg of Simon Gratz in second from Pennsylvania. We hope you enjoyed our coverage of the high jump. We may look to secure a live interview with Ryan Buskey, our high jump champion, once we get the opportunity to do so. These guys, I'll tell you, interview-worthy performances from heat number 8. Nigel Bassnight, 53-25, earning his respect with a great run. And then a good finish for second by Sydney's Travis Whedon. Sydney, another team from the Section 4 Southern Tier. As section number 9 gets underway. We got some guys from the city and elsewhere, including Midwood, New Jersey. Going out the quickest is the 400-meter hurdle specialist from Columbia, in all white, Mason Wagner. Through in 24 seconds, over a raw 200 from a standing start. Very quick start by Mason, and knowing that he can go sub 60 over the 400 hurdles, you got to think he's got the strength to come home. Just beneath 38 once again through 300. Look out for Saratoga's Rainier Pyle in second now. But it is all Mason Wagner. Starting to tie up just a little bit, but he'll have enough to win. 53 seconds once again, Pyle second. And then third place, look to be potentially Liam Perkins of Midwood. We'll look to confirm that, as Wagner is confirmed the winner in 53:30. And it was Perkins of Midwood in third behind Pyle of Saratoga. This is section number 10 for the boys 400-meter dash. Academy Charter. Again, they're the school that sent the most amount of runners to this meet this weekend. And they're making it crystal clear to us that they're more than just a quantity school. They've got plenty of quality talent as well. Going through 300 meters with a healthy advantage. Elijah from Academy. Elijah Nolasco, 53 high at the line. Section 11, boys 400 of 18. We got a four-way battle brewing on this far turn. This is anyone's race at this point. We've got Danbury, Snyder, and Minisink Valley all with representatives to fight to the line. It is Minisink, Angel Mendez. Out of hip number 2, he was in third or fourth at the halfway point and comes through in first come the finish. 54.79 ahead of Zal Charles of Snyder in second. Section 12, boys 400. Powering off the turn in lane number 1, that's Timothy Dye of River Hill. Around 25 seconds for the man from Maryland. His DMR girls teammates won last night in a U.S. top 5 time of 12:16. And let's not forget that the 400 is also part of a distance medley relay. Showing very strongly here coming off the turn. And how much strength will he have left? Here comes hip number 6. That's Shehan Amen from Springford. With a well-timed move, Tim Dye will take second. 56 flat for Shehan Amen from Springford to take the win. Rest of the finishing times coming in shortly. Dye and then Christian Roberts from Sylvania Northview. Maryland takes second behind Pennsylvania and ahead of Ohio in third. How about that? We had 6 different states represented in that last heat. Not only is this an international showcase, but we get to see some of the best from the entire country. We got the Midwest in town, we got the Mid-Atlantic, and we got the Northeast as well. Rogan Lynch of Minisink Valley running strong out of hip number 4. He takes the lead at the halfway point. Another commanding advantage, but as we've seen in the 400, sometimes if somebody goes out a little quick for their liking, that may come back to bite them. Let's see if Lynch can hold on. He's still pumping those arms, keeping his stride open and posture tall. But coming up to challenge him is Declan Ewell. In fact, that is Nehemiah Mullings, but won't come close enough. 55 seconds for the win by Reagan Lynch. Declan Ewell there with hip number 2. Had a mix-up on the splits. 55-64. Followed by, unofficially, Connor Colozo from Snyder. And then James Kyle from Bishop Shanahan. Section 14. This is our fifth to final 400 meters for the freshman varsity boys. In fact, varsity. Freshman girls 800 is the next event on the track. So definitely stick around for that.
Final call, freshman boys and girls 800. Final call, freshman boys and girls 800.
What a powerful early run by Aiden Ashley from Sylvania Northview. If we flash it back to one of our earlier heats, his teammate had a brilliant sprint to the win in the latter stages of, I believe, the third section. This time he has taken a little bit more of an aggressive early strategy with contrast to this field. Can he hold off Academy Charter's Julius Byfield, who comes by in the final 50? Long Island will take the win, courtesy of Julius Byfield of Academy Charter. 56 flat once again, the winning time, and 57.16 for Aiden Ashley, followed by Aiden Sue of the Pingree School. Yet again, look at all these different states represented. New York with Academy Charter, Sylvania Northview, Ohio, Pingree School, New Jersey, Collegiate School, New York again, and then Bishop Shanahan from Pennsylvania. That's 4 states in one section. What do we got in store for heat number 15? Oh, we got some Delaware, some more Ohio, and New Jersey. And, of course, good old New York. The New York International Showcase, after all. We do have one vacancy that looks to be lane 4, so no Jaden Murray of the Franklin School, but we do have Javon McGowan from Malvern, Omar Rodriguez Hernandez of William Penn from Delaware, Israel Roberts from Sylvania Northview. Jaden Murray is out there in hit 4, so the scratcher is indeed Christian Lloyd of Snyder. And then in 6, Ryder Weinberg from Roslyn. That's the full field introduced, but this is where the race truly begins to take shape. Omar Rodriguez Hernandez from William Penn, from Wilmington, around the final turn, into the home straightaway. It's Delaware, the smallest of all states in representation, but the strongest over the quarter mile in heat 15. Omar Rodriguez Hernandez in 56.07. William Penn, a school with extensive history in the 4x4. They held the girls' state record for 40 years until it was broken by the Pandas of Padua Academy at their state meet of champions this past outdoor season. It was set all the way back at the 1984 Penn Relays. So just giving you a sense of what William Penn has to offer. As we're on to our third to last scheduled heat, Miles Marinello of Stillwater, Elijah Johnson of Springford, Leor Reichman of Roslyn, Manuel Luca of Snyder, Gideon Praveen Das of Bishop Shanahan, and Matthew O of Roslyn. Miles Marinello with a good run on the inside from Stillwater. Out of lane number 1, he's made up the stagger, but will come under a bit of pressure on his direct rear now. He's got to watch his 6 for Gideon Praveen Das from Bishop Shanahan. But he's moving away down the backstretch. He ran around a 24.25 in the 200 yesterday, and his Stillwater crowd's going to try and cheer him on. I can see his coach, Sean McClemens, cheering him around the turn. He gives a thumbs up to the Stillwater crowd. Miles Marinello, 56 and change for the win in Heat 16, 27.53. And a very nice back half, 29.2. That's how you run a 400 right there. Hey, Stillwater's not a bad place to learn, I suppose. It makes me so proud. I've been getting very anecdotal on this broadcast, but as a Stillwater, New York small school alum, to see my program still going strong. We had a little bit of a stutter in this latest section out of lane number 3 by Sydney is Aiden Moodley, but they have let it fly as our group of 6 flies around this turn for the first of 2 laps, and we'll get ready for the long kick home. A little look over the shoulder by Plainfield's Elijah Bounds. 25 seconds high through 200, leading over Ferris is John Masonette. And to 300 meters, this is where the race truly will take shape. We've still got Aiden Moodley lurking in third. Remember, he had a slight twitch off the line, but he's clearly made short memory of that. Masonette, and here comes Moodley, the New Yorker. Reminds us just what state we're in. Aiden Moodley from Sydney ahead of John Masonette. And in third, Michael Exama from Plainfield. And this is our final varsity section for the boys of the 800, 400. 800's coming up next. And we've got a really fast start here by Daryl Coleman from St. Peter's Prep. He's through in a very low 24, holding a 4-second advantage on the field halfway through, and it is not going away anytime soon. We are going to be watching the clock with all 8 of our eyes around this final turn for Daryl Coleman, the Marauder from St. Peter's Prep. Coleman will be our final varsity heat winner in the 400 in 52 high. .52.76 on a great solo effort. And then it is Joshua Ocasio from Ferris in second. Girls freshman 800 being called onto the track next. They're likely going to slot these 3 moving beneath your frame into the exterior waterfall, with the others that you see just on the track in lane 6 now stepping out into the interior waterfall.
Again, athletes and coaches, it's the last call to check in for the invite 60 meters. That means circle the number next to your name till you're put in a race to a heat. If you do not check in, you will not get a heat. 60 are in the voting area on the table. Check in order to make a heat.
Girls 800 meter run for freshmen. Having a look at the event that we've got on our hands now. 3 total sections of this race.
On the track now is the freshman girls 800.
Leading in the first is the young Bullis Bulldog who drew the first hip number. This is Madeline Ramirez. She ran the 800 leg of the Bullis School distance medley relay that I found out per the Ocean Breeze make that for the Instagram of Coach Joe Lee. I found out that the Bullis School broke its distance medley school record last night with its U.S. number 10 finishing time, and Madeline Ramirez ran the 800 leg of that race. That DMR finishing time, just to give our official shout out to Bullis, that was a 12:20.85, so a nice indoor school record. And you got to think, if you're Madeline Ramirez, knowing that you could contribute to such a great lineup like that, to such a great result. And this ought to feel like a walk in the park. Each time you round that track, your teammates are cheering you on, as is the case for our freshman 400 champion looking for the double. In second place right now, Adaya Arango, fresh off of a 57-second performance earlier. And her teammate Annabella Cassidy in third. Ramirez, though, has had a little bit more rest time since her last race. It's going to be strength versus speed, as Arango says, not so fast. She wants to show that she's so fast with that 400 speed up onto the shoulder of Ramirez, who still has the advantage, though. The Bullis School from Maryland against Winslow Township from New Jersey in a thrilling freshman 800. Madeline Ramirez. What a weekend of half-miling, 2:21 with Arango right behind. Section 2 of the freshman girls 800. .221, a rather tall task to take down, but they're going to try and push each other. That's what we love to see, them attack these 800s, something that's so hard and intimidating to do. Thinking about it from the perspective of an Adaya Arango, a 400-meter runner moving up to the 8, it should, in theory, be easy to run a pace in the mid-60s to 70s range and still have more left in the reserves. That is not the case at all when it comes to 800-meter running. And that is the challenge that a lot of these freshmen are coming to learn about this grueling event. But they're embracing it, and that's what we love to see. They love running and racing and making friends with one another. A lot of times, even the most talented freshmen will say the number one thing that they hope to do on any given day is make new friends. It doesn't matter about the times, the PRs, the places sometimes. Well, it does, but you get the point. There's bigger things than the numbers and the intricate storyline sometimes. It's just about the humanity of the sport. And that's just another thing that I love about covering it at the high school level. Carson Gambaro talking to you, courtesy of MileSplit and FloTrack at the New York International Showcase, as our top two girls in the second heat of the freshman 800 give each other a toe-to-toe battle leading up to the bell. Hitting it first is Mackenzie Hagenbuch from Norwich. And she's starting to pull away on this last lap. Down the final back stretch. She saved this for the last lap. And with 100 meters to go, this race is all but hers. Now how quickly can she go? Julia Mitchell from Danbury still having a fine run in second. Putting on one last ditch effort, but Mackenzie Hagenbuch takes the victory in 2:36.73, winning by around a second and a half over Julia Mitchell.
.2:36.73 for Mackenzie Hagenbuch.
third and final section, girls 800 meters, freshmen.
Coolidge, Pitt, Grayson, Melendez, Smith, Boyd, Yang, Mayray, Anna.
This is Serenity Coolidge from Newburgh Free Academy, and her teammate is right behind her. That's Maria Pena in second. Look at the Goldbacks in navy blue. The team known a lot for its 4x4 success as well on the boys' side, some as well for the girls, but the boys, the reigning indoor state champions in the Federation and outdoors over the Division I. A whole lot to love about Malcolm Burke's program out of Section 9 as these top two Newburgh runners come to the 400 split at 1:25. 2 laps to go, on pace for a 2:50. And considering a lot of our freshman milers, right, not a lot of them knew what it was like to run a sub-6 full mile. And for these girls to get a feel for a 2:50 800 pace, let alone, but still, to know what sub-6 pace feels like and how to maintain that for a full mile, that's a key checkpoint on their quest to becoming the next best distance runner. 6 minutes, before you know it, might transform to 5:45, and then before you know it, then 5:30. And this is where it starts. Sometimes you got to start with a shorter distance to become better at the longer distance. Let's see if Coolidge can break that 6-minute pace and go sub-3 in this third and final section of the girls' freshman 800. Newburgh 1-2, followed by Kelly Pitts of Cheltenham in third, and then Carrie Smith of Minisink in fourth. That is a Section 9 1-2-4 with Malia Sutton from Norwich running in fifth. Less than 100 meters to go now for our leader, soon to be confirmed the winner, Serenity Coolidge from Newburgh Free Academy, running free down the straightaway. She'll go in 3:01, 3:02. Look at that. She gave a little flex as she crossed the line. 3:01.88. She's earned that. I'd reckon in no time, she'll be thinking about her first sub-6 full mile. What a run for Serenity Coolidge. Her third lap was a painful 50 and change, but she really summoned some speed in that last lap to go 45.73. Freshman boys get on the track for the 800 next as our final finisher comes through for Cheltenham. Gotta say, I love all the uniforms that Cheltenham has brought here. Many teams, Bullis being the main one that we know, but a lot of teams with those alternate wardrobes. That's another way to stand out at big meets like the New York International Showcase. Speaking of Bullis, they've got a young runner in this as well. Boys freshman 800 meters. This is the first section of 3. Still running about 10 minutes behind schedule, but slowly getting closer back to our originally slated schedule. So far, leading in this first of 3 boys freshman sections is Bryson Anderson, the Cardinal from Hayes out of the Bronx, followed by Joseph Pangala from Hackettstown, New Jersey in second. And then that looks like Eitan Goldberg from Polyprep. That looks like a Polyprep jersey. Goldberg, in fact, a little bit further back. That is Bryson Sylvain running in the number 3 position with hip number 12, followed by Saratoga's Tommy Kircher, now moving up into 3rd, just beyond 400 meters. They went out really quick there. At first 200, 28.99, and they were right around 60 flat at the halfway point. These guys, I'll tell you, even if they don't do so on this occasion, these are future sub-2 800-meter runners. And that is a fact. If they can continue to work hard and embrace this sport and put themselves in thrilling races like this. Look at Anderson on the inside. Look at Pangallo on the outside. Past 600 meters. Kircher in 3rd. And then Bullis's Owen Heilman, our top finisher from the freshman mile, moving up from 4th. But Bryson Anderson has separated by about 10 meters. Pangallo trying to come back. But when he secured the rail a lap ago, that was all she wrote for Bryson Anderson from Cardinal Hayes. 2:03 as they ring the bell for victory. Heilman 3rd, and a very close finish for 4th between Kircher and Goldberg from Polyprep. 2:05.15 or Joseph Pangallo. There we go with the 400 splits, though, on the bottom right of your screen. Anderson, again, he took it out in 60 flat and still squeezed it down to a 63. This kid's going to be special. And so we welcome on our second section of the freshman boys 800. If you want to go 2:03, you're going to have to go below 31 seconds per lap. Let's see how quickly they take it out. We got some runners from Trinity on the outside doing just that. Part of the Association of Independent Schools. Now compressing at the break, that looks like. Could be a Souderton jersey on the inside, and it is a Souderton jersey. Owen Paulus. In fact, it could be Dylan Keller. No, I'm looking at the first team. It's neither of those two. We'll get an official radar on our field once they come across next. A lot of splits loading in. That was Jameen Crozier. Second, now being confirmed as your early leader, now being passed up on his outside by Collegiate's Kabir Aurora. Will lead at 68 seconds through the halfway point, followed by our top runner now from the Trinity School, Rufus Walker. So Collegiate and Trinity, both AIS schools. This could be a preview of the Independent School State Meet, which usually does take place here at Ocean Breeze. If you can hear the claps, we got the boys' triple jump. That looks like the long jump happening simultaneously. We'll have a check on that. But we got a new leader in the meantime, Rufus Walker from the Trinity School against Kabir Aurora of Collegiate, who looks to be losing ground with every step as that move by Walker, that vicious move, just broke his momentum. He'll still finish second in this field of double digits, but Rufus Walker will take the win in 2:14. And it's a 1-3 for Trinity with Collegiate in between and Souderton in 4th. Danbury goes 5 and 6, courtesy of Jason King and his teammate in this, Sean Ward. Final section of the boys, 800 meters for freshmen is on the track. How fast will they go in heat 3 of 3?
On the track now, Smith, Monaco, Simpson, Jesus, Mutez, Reddy, Brooksby, Neighbors, Lynn.
This is Columbia on the early lead.
Bowman, Miller,
That looks like Grady Smith,
and McLaughlin.
who drew from hip number 1, seated just beneath 230. Let's see how quickly he goes here on his second lap.
Good morning. Welcome to the New York International Showcase. I'm gonna need y'all to turn up with me today. Can we do that? Can we do better? Can we do better? All right, good. We're about to get this going. We give you
Smith taking a look at the clock as he sees it at the top of the straightaway at 69 seconds through 400 meters. In second place, we've got George Neighbors of St. Anne's out of Brooklyn. A nice battle going for second, but Smith has got to be battling it out with the clock at this point, considering his advantage. He's got 300 meters remaining and around 25 behind him to the next closest runner. Here comes the bell for the Blue Devil. Grady Smith, still St. Anne's in second, followed by Poly Prep. And then after that, it is a pretty tight battle for fourth. We'll have to check on that. We got our other runner from Columbia trying to get in the mix. That is Jacob Miller. We'll see where he finishes. There's no question where his teammate will finish. Grady Smith will finish in first with a big sprint to the line, outdoing his seed time by 6 seconds and change. His crowd loves that. Poly Prep will make it a Blue Devil 1-2 as they share the same mascot, finishing just ahead of Jacob Miller, who came through for third.
Coming up next on the track, look at the varsity girls heat.
So really, that was a Blue Devil 1-2-3 and a 1-3 for Columbia.
On track now, Francesca, the perfect technical, Nikita, Rohan of River Hill, Sky Williams of Jewett Clayton, Maren Erdman of Smithville, Savannah Rice of Notre Dame, Miranda Matthews of Waterville, Kate Bowers of North Hunterdon, Harper Bright of Northville, Kay Thomas of Jewett Clayton, Zoe Nicola of Poly Prep Country Day, Layla Barnes of Waterville, Sophia Bureau of North Hunterdon, and Willa Jancy of Shiptown.
This is our first heat of girls in the varsity 800. So these heats are not necessarily the top seeded, as those will be the invitational heats to come later. Let's have a look at who we've got out on the early lead. That's Maren Erdman from Smithville. She leads in this first group of 4. We do have a couple special guests about to join our live broadcast, and we will meet them in a moment. Sky Williams of DeWitt Clinton, high school pride of Sanjay Air, meet founder and director. She's running in second at the split, and behind her,
Again, thank you for being here at
In fact, that's Sophia Pirro. She's moved up into second as they get ready to take the belt. Clinton's still in fourth, and now Holly Prep into the number 2 position. But now running away with it, trying to go wire to wire, is Marin Erdman of Smithville in this first of 5 varsity sections of the 800 meters for girls. Around the final bend now, less than 100 to go. And into the home straightaway. It's going to be a battle. Smithville and Cheltenham. Willa Cheney with a great rally to take second, but Marin Erdman will win outright. Hunterdon in third with a great run by Sophia Pirro. And it was Nikita Mohan from Riverhill who ran the 400 leg of the DMR that won last night to finish just outside of the top 5. Second heat of the girls varsity 800 is on the track. And while we follow this race in real time, we'd like to welcome on our top 2 finishers in the boys invitational high jump from Archbishop Carroll Vance Harris and our champion and facility record holder, 7'2", Ryan Buskey. Thank you guys so much for joining me.
Of course.
Thank you.
So, coming to you, Ryan, first, of course, taking the win, but a great atmosphere here at the New York International Showcase. How did you feel on the infield today?
I felt pretty good. The environment, the air quality, everything, it felt great here. It was a good good competition with my competitor, also my friend Vance. I just felt great.
Vance coming off of a VA showcase, you placed 4th at 6'6", but you were out for something different today, setting a 6'10" mark, nearly getting over 7 feet. Your first time attempting that indoors, right?
Yes, sir.
So, how did you feel about your performance, and what was different about today than last week?
Today I was more so locked in. There was a goal that I had, so I was trying to fulfill it. And having this being my second meet, just me high jumping my first year indoor, I'm just coming to do great things, make a name for myself.
That being said, both of you have a lot of experience during the summer, as we could see at the AAU Junior Olympics. Of course, Ryan, you've won Junior Olympic titles this past summer. Is that where you guys kind of first met and became friends?
We first met freshman year at New Balance Nationals.
Oh, so even further back. Taking back to that first encounter, what do you guys remember about that experience?
Vance beat me there. What did you jump? You jumped 6'3"?
I think I jumped 6 foot, 0.75.
I also jumped that. You beat me off attempts.
Oh, yeah.
You guys could probably backflip over that now. But, Ryan, coming back to you as we hit the bell, it's Bullis School on the lead right now. That is Charlie Mason, just trying to keep tabs of what's happening on the track. But, Ryan, coming back to you, you're now 6 of 6, but the past 2 meets before this, you were a little bit disappointed not getting over 7 feet, but you took some rest time off, you told me before, and that was crucial. But aside from that, what were the difference makers for you to get back over 7 feet today?
I had to work on my timing and everything. It was a recovery. Recovery is so important in how I perform. I was doing so many events at the meets. I was doing 2 or 3 events. Today, I only did a high jump, and that was the first thing I did. So I really think that helped my jumps.
Elena Placide of Ferris just took the win in heat number 2. Let's go ahead and pivot back to the track. We're going to keep our high jumpers up here on the live conversation. Dwayne, back to the start line, please. Dwayne Giles, our cameraman up top here, bringing you all the sights. But we're going to keep chit-chatting with our top 2 high jumpers. Coming back to Vance, again, your PR, you're just outside of it now by 3/4 of an inch. But you got the chance to get a few good attempts in at 7 feet, a few that were pretty close. So what do you think you're going to do differently next time to try and get over that bar next time you get the chance?
Definitely try not to suck myself out. I think I was thinking too much about the height, and it kind of threw me out my game. I wasn't doing my game plan. So next time, I'm locked in the whole entire competition.
Yes, sir. And Ryan, getting to talk to you on our podcast, In Full Stride, which you all should totally check out on YouTube, by the way. I remember you telling me about your conversation with the New York State record holder, Dan Olson, who still stands alone ahead of you at 7'4", to not worry so much about jumping 7 feet. That was the one thing that he almost knew was separating you from that barrier when you were so close to it as a sophomore, and now as a junior, you've almost found this comfort zone in the 7 feet range. So how do you feel that you've made that difference in addition to forgetting about the mark every time you step on that mat?
It really just, it feels good knowing I can just come out here and jump 7 feet every single time, and it's easier. 7 feet is just, it's like a new 6'10" for me. If you know what I mean about that. So
it's like once something becomes your PR, you're like, man, how is that ever going to be easy? But then over time it just does, and that's just the byproduct of the hard work, the growth, the maturity, and everything. We've got a two-way battle halfway through this third heat of girls varsity 800 meters, and we're talking to a great two-way battle, recapping what happened in the high jump here at the New York International Showcase. Expand a little bit more about the atmosphere to come here. Of course, with a lot of the great programs, yours included Advanced, Archbishop Carroll. What does it mean to represent them here?
Well, I mean, it's my first time. I just transferred over here, so I'm very grateful for the opportunity. The atmosphere is great, man. It really makes the adrenaline flow through your body, helps you jump even more, even higher. So I think that plays a big part in how you perform. But overall, I just love the atmosphere. I love being able to jump in front of these people, you know, just make a name for myself and just put on a show.
Coming from one of the most prestigious track and field programs, not just in our nation's capital, but in our nation, period, was it intimidating for you at all getting started with the Lions?
Well, at a time, it definitely was, because trying to find my market, trying to find my place here, it was a little difficult since I'm the only high jumper. But once I realized where I was comfortable, that definitely helped me a lot, and that played a big part in today's competition.
Absolutely. Let's look at the competition here, finishing in this 800-meter heat. That is Olivia Martinez. Olivia Martinek of Corning, your winner in section number 4. Ryan, coming back to you, moving forward, what do you think is, what meet's going to be next for you?
To be honest, I have no idea, because you know how our schedule is. We're always bouncing around. Sometimes we will go to a meet, sometimes we won't. But
you think we're going to see you back at Union?
Maybe you might see me back at Union. Wherever sectionals is, that's where I'll be at probably next.
I think it'll be HVCC on the 15th of February. What about Milrose? Are either you guys looking at Milrose?
No, I'm not going to Milrose. They don't have high jump.
That's right. What a bummer. I'm not going to say anything about that. We're going to move on to the next question for you. What is your favorite hobby outside of track?
Probably playing basketball.
Same thing as him.
Is that kind of where both of you guys came from? Ryan, I know you coming from a basketball background. Your first season of indoor. Is this your first season of indoor too, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah. What was it like for you having to make that choice between basketball and indoor track coming into this year?
Well, I mean, the main idea or the whole goal was to really transfer to a school that had indoor track. So I'd say giving up basketball, it wasn't a hard decision. I miss it from time to time, but at times, you know, I'm very grateful where I'm at, you know.
You guys going to go play pickup game after this?
If we can. If you find a court.
Yeah. 1v1. Who do you think would win in a 1v1?
Me.
Ooh, yeah, he had the quicker reaction time. I got to give it to him.
He's crazy, man. He's crazy. You don't know what he's talking about.
7'2", man. I mean, that's like what, here, and he just did that over that. Ryan Buskey and Vance Harris. Any more thoughts from you guys before we let you go today?
No, not from me.
Stay on the lookout for us, you know. U.S. number 1, U.S. number 2.
A great battle that is potential preview of nationals. Thank you guys so much again for joining me. Let's go back to the track for the 800-meter action. See you guys later.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
On the track right now, let's have a look at our leaders. Through halfway in 79 seconds. Alexandra Watson from Midwood, the young Jerseyan, holding the lead over her fellow young Jerseyan, Avia Van Pelt. This is the varsity girls 800. In case I said freshman earlier, I apologize. This is varsity. One lap to go. Watson pulling away with her competition. Straight dominance out of heat number 4. And Alexandra Watson. In fact, that's Corning again. The splits didn't update, and neither did my pupils, apparently. That was Reese Conway of Corning. Apologies again for the mix-up. Getting back in 800 mode, 2:37.46. That was all Reese Conway. She wins by around 7 seconds over Avia Van Pelt. Kai Wood of Elizabeth Seton takes 3rd, and then Watson from Midwood, our earlier leader, takes 4th. Last section of the girls' varsity 800 meters. Let's get a look on the infield. We got a Jamaican flag there just to showcase the international flavor provided to this meet. We got some Jamaican flags in representation there. There it is, the Jamaican flag. Had to get a view of that. To all of our Jamaican audience members tuning in, we appreciate you for joining our broadcast here on Mile Split and FloTrack. 124 through the halfway point here. That's Deshelle DeVerge from Hillside holding the lead as we currently stand. But now she's been passed up by Samantha Pilko from Snyder. But it looks like she's going to strike back on the outside, so not too pleased about that move. In about 20 minutes, we're going to get underway with the Invitational 60-meter trials at 12:40, so keep an eye out for that on the infield as well. As moving up from 3rd with a huge pass out of hip number 13 is Mayan Montero. Mayan Montero from the St. Anne's School out of Brooklyn. And she is gone, 20 meters ahead, and she was behind just 100 to go. What a move by the young runner from Brooklyn Heights.
Invitational 60 meters report to the
One of the independent schools from the AIS, St. Anne's, and Mayan Montero, your final varsity heat winner in the girls' 800-meter run. Diversion 2nd, and then a big rally for 3rd out of hip number 9 by Maria Gomez of Plainfield.
Jamaica, I just want you to know that the only reason that this meet is an international meet is because Jamaica is here. So I need to hear you when I say, where's Jamaica at? Oh my goodness, y'all still playing. But not on that. Come on, we can represent Jamaica. Let's go.
first of 10 sections in the boys varsity 800. Can we get anybody below 2 here? We had 2:03 in the freshman 800. Our top time in the girls varsity 800 was that faster than the freshman. I recall the 400 wasn't quite so, as the freshmen went faster over the quarter mile, but as far as the girls varsity, the same held true. The freshmen are going faster than the varsity runners. Again, we're going to need to see a sub 2:03 for that to be possible for the boys, as their varsity runners, they've been sticking it to the freshies. Isaiah Shockley from Pemberton, and now a move by Zaire Morales of Polyprep. He's through sub 60 at the halfway point. Good run on that second lap, being pursued very closely by Danbury, it looks like. That's Michael Comiskey, who's a great miler and showing that he's got plenty of speed to duke it out over a half a mile. Through the bell at 1:28. We could be in for our first sub 2 of the day. We got plenty more sub 2 runners to come once we reach the Invitational 800 in the afternoon. But here in the varsity 800, we got Zaire Morales from Polyprep leading into the final 100 meters. Down the final stretch, single file in the 800. Comiskey having to hold on to second as Morales, 58.59, he breaks 2 minutes. 1:59.74. And there is nobody in this building happier than public address announcer Michael Twist, an 800 aficionado in his own. Comiskey holds on for second, Isaiah Shockley third. Section 2 of 10 boys 800 on the track. Let's go. This is the varsity section. After the boys varsity 800, we're going to have the next event being the 4x2s for the freshman girls. Those will likely coincide with our infield trials. We'll likely use that opportunity to focus on the invitational events as they take precedent with that big 6-letter I word to their category. But this is a great varsity race nonetheless. It's not just about the fastest times, as I stress so often. The invitational sections may have the luster, but the varsity sections can produce great races like this. So far, leading out of hip number 8, Edward's son of Wooten, just ahead of Deptford's Anthony Schilling. In third place, we got Terrell St. Clair from Danbury, whose teammate Michael Comiskey took second in the previous heat. He is latched right onto the top 2 in a great, comfortable position, not needing to run any extra meters. He can focus on himself and watch the moves in front of him. Look out for him in the orange front. The Hatter moves into second. Still the man from Wooten in front, Edward's son. He came through at 58.88 at 400. 1:59.74 is the time to beat. Danbury with Terrell St. Clair in the final 100. He's going to need to really turn on the wheels if he wants to break that time. Into the home straightaway with a great move up from third. Terrell St. Clair, 2 flats and change for the Heat 2 victory. He'll be second in the overall standings, overtaking his teammate Michael Comiskey with a 2 flat 60. off and underway now is heat number 3 of the boys varsity 800. A lot of sorting out to do through 100 meters. So far, the quickest start goes to the man donning hit 4. This is Deptford Zach Harrison. But now moving up on the outside is Ryan Walensky from the Bullis School. Walensky, who's been part of some great running clubs, now part of the great Bullis School. Under the tutelage of his distance coach, Sarah Wasner Flynn. He holds the lead through halfway point. Right behind him,